Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. Well, let's go ahead and get into this. So I made a video about this last year sort of as a preview for these quarterbacks for their rookie season. I think I made one halfway through the season to kind of predict who won Rookie of the Year. I think I predicted Joe Burrow to win Rookie of the Year. I think so, to be the best out of those quarterbacks. And ended up not working. He ended up being injured pretty much halfway through the season. Tua didn't play that full season. Tua ended up having 1,800 yards, 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Joe Burrow, 13 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And, of course, Justin Herbert not only got to play most of the year, I think he missed, 1 or 2 games, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he only missed a half of that first game, but I think he missed the first game, came in halfway through that second game, or made his start, actually, after that whole Tyrod Taylor thing. Anyway, he missed some time, and he ended up throwing 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, had the best rookie season for a quarterback statistically in NFL history. He was one of the most exciting players in the league last year, kind of doing a Mahomes kind of impression for how he played football. I know Chargers fans were pleasantly surprised. Herbert was someone I wanted on my team for years. He decided to go back to school, and when he really hit the ground running, he really hit it. Definitely has had the best season so far. So when you want to look at who's going to have the best sophomore season, I don't expect Justin Herbert to have any kind of a sophomore slump. But let's look at each one of their situations. Last year, the Dolphins, first off, they benched Tua way too much, in my opinion. You got to let that rookie quarterback develop. I think they went 10-6 last year. And I understand Brian Flores is trying to win games, so he took him out sometime. And, you go 10-6. Is it really that bad? If he obviously knew what he was doing at some point. So I want to see Tua obviously stay in these games this year and let him, take his bumps and bruises and just continue to develop. They added Will Fuller, who's going to miss probably the first, 4 games because of, a PED problem. And then they added Jalen Waddle. So those two are 2 of the fastest players that are going to be in the league. Jalen Waddle is probably top 3 or 4 fastest players in the league. Will Fuller is at least in the top 10. Blazers, they're going to add those big plays to the Dolphins. A lot of Dolphins fans were telling me all offseason when I was doing my mock drafts and free agency stuff, telling me that the Dolphins needed to add a wide receiver. Well, they got one. He can play inside and out. I think from day one, he'll play inside in the slot. You got some nice pieces around him with Devontae Parker. You got some nice pieces. I really like what they're adding there. So they have the potential to be an explosive offense. We know their defense is going to show up. We know their coach is a great coach so far. He's not a Super Bowl winning guy yet, but he's really been showing that he's a good coach so far. So Tua, I believe, out of these 3, probably has the best coach. They've added to the wide receiver core. I still want to see their line get a little bit better, but so far so good with the Dolphins. Looking at Joe Burrow, everybody was saying that the Bengals needed to address the offensive line. They addressed it. They got Riley Reif. They got Jackson Carman in the second round. But the biggest news that you would probably say that happened for the Bengals this offseason was that they repaired Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase. And as an LSU fan, I was very excited to see that. That connection is going to be special. But you already had T. Higgins. You already had Tyler Boyd. And you probably could have used a freak like Penei Sewell on that offensive line. Either way, that didn't happen. Jackson Carman, I'm hoping that he can step in and protect Joe Burrow at a great level day one. Not realistic, but I think Jackson Carman has potential to be a good player down the road at the very least. And then when you look at their last situation, the biggest problem with the Chargers was that their offensive line was in shambles. But guess what? They added Rashawn Slater, a tackle, guard, wherever you want to play him at. I like him at every position that you want, that you can think about playing him at. They got Corey Linsley, probably the top 2 or 3 center in the league. And then they added Matt Fielder, somebody else that I wanted. He can play tackle. He can play guard. So you add 3, I think, above average offensive linemen. I mean, Pro Bowl level guys. And then Rashawn Slater, we'll see how he plays. But I think those other 2 are Pro Bowl level guys. You've addressed the offensive line. I mean, there's no bones about it. You address the offensive line. So now Justin Herbert is going to be protected. They're going to have a new coaching staff, so he's going to have to adjust to that. But he's got that offensive line. He's coming off of a 31 touchdown season. You would think that he has the easiest lane to having that sophomore year be better than the other 2 quarterbacks. And that's pretty much who I'm going to predict to have that best season. Even as a Joe Burrow fan, he's going to have the wide receivers, but the offensive line, even if they do turn out to outperform expectations, Jackson Carman is good. I don't think that Jackson Carman is going to be good week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Now, what will be good is something I can almost guarantee is they have a special connection. Him and Jamar Chase have a special connection that will be must-watch football. I think Joe Burrow will be a threat to put up, 30-something touchdowns, somewhere around that, just because of a guy like Jamar Chase. And his, we can't underrate his connection with T. Higgins. Him and T. Higgins were on the same page pretty much from day one. They really had a really great chemistry. And Tyler Boyd, to me, behind Chris Godwin, is the best slot receiver in the game. So I guess that would put him at number 2. But that trio of receivers, it rivals what they have down there in Tampa Bay. It rivals what they have down there in Dallas. So with that trio of wide receivers, Joe Burrow has kind of an outside shot of surpassing the production of Justin Herbert. And what I'm saying here is pretty much, production stats. We'll see how this all translates to wins. But you add that offensive line, you bolster that offensive line up. I'm thinking that Herbert has probably the best chance to be the best quarterback in this draft this second year, at least, in wins and statistics, because that's really where they had the issues, was along that offensive line. Tua, I like the addition of the wide receivers in the offensive line, and they might also probably be, really in a good spot for the wins too, because they're coming off of a 10-6 season. Their coaching staff is one of the best in the league, in my opinion, and the defense is no joke. So I look for the wins maybe to be the Dolphins with the most wins, Herbert with the best stats, and Joe Burrow is probably going to be in second place in both of those categories. Second or third place, maybe in wins, he's in third place because of everything else around him. The Bengals really have got to continue to develop that roster, because on defense, they got to get a ton better. And on offense, I think they're really moving in the right direction. But all 3 of these quarterbacks, I think, have the chance to be long-term options for their teams. I'm very sure, very, very sure about Herbert, and very, very sure about Joe Burrow. Tua, I'm kind of in a wait and see, but I'm optimistic. We'll see now that he has some weapons, now that he's not going to just get thrown on the bench every couple of games for Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think he's in a good shape. So you guys let me know who you think will be the best quarterback statistically and who will be the best quarterback win-wise. Right now I'm going to say the best quarterback statistically will be Justin Herbert, and the best quarterback win-wise this upcoming year will be Tua. So let me know what you think, guys. And if you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.